Hello and welcome to the Dark Mount video review for Transformers Robots in Disguise 2015 Legion Class Sideswipe. Sideswipe is a tiny red sports car kind of guy. He's got some spikes on the side of him for some reason. Not entirely sure what that's supposed to do. It's not even like they're really anywhere effective. You'd be really hard pressed to actually hit anyone with those. You'd have to like Tokyo drift into them or something. I don't know. He's pretty cool. I like his design. I think just from the look of it, from what I've seen, I like the Warrior class vehicle mode a little bit more, but this one for Legion class is a pretty cool figure. You will notice that the back here is split apart a little bit, and I will talk about that later, but that right there is not indicative of what your figure is going to look like. That's my bad. Yeah. So, for size comparison, here he is with, I think that's all of them. No, it's not Bumblebee. Well, Bumblebee is not transforming. Here he is with all of the other robots, just for a general size comparison. He's pretty much the exact same size as Bumblebee. Now, before I get into the transformation proper, well, kind of as I get into it, this whole separated leg thing back here is totally my fault. The way these legs tab in, they kind of fold in normal Transformer style up like that, which is incidentally the first transformation step. But if you'll notice, there's also a little tab right here that tabs in between the two legs. And if you look really closely, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, probably on that angle, you will see that there is a bit of what looks like flashing or stress or something right there. Yeah, that's actually a broken tab. The way this works is that it's one of the L-shaped tabs, so you're actually supposed to slide them in like that, and it locks them together really tightly, and then you slide them back apart. I was being stupid when I was transforming this back and forth for all the other Legion class size comparisons, and at some point I was not thinking, and I just kind of like popped. Yeah, and I just totally broke that tab off. So it still transforms, it still goes together, but as you can see, it's a little bit more fiddly. The feet up here actually do kind of peg in a little bit, like loose pegging. So it's not like the vehicle mode is floppy or falls apart or anything. It's just, this is not held together as tight as it would be. It would have been more like that probably, and then now it's got a kind of visible gap, so. But yeah, that's totally my bad. Just be careful when you're transforming this that you slide them apart and you don't pull them apart, because you will end up with what I ended up with. So, straighten out the legs like that. And then you can straighten his feet out. Take this, and just for clearance purposes, I'm going to pull these down, they peg in on the sides, and then you can kind of pull these down. For clearance, generally, I try to fold it past there, because if you try to fold this first, it's not going to fold back, so you have to kind of double hinge it down and then fold it around, and that'll fold up onto his back like that. Then you can just situate his arms, get his legs, and there you have Sideswipe. And he is a little, of course now he's not going to be, because I'm on camera. It's reverse review syndrome. Normally he's actually kind of back heavy when you just have him standing straight up and down. I had to hit him pretty hard for that, so that doesn't really count. What I have found is that if you, like, his legs have a little bit of a turn on their ball joint. If you just take his legs and kind of turn them outwards a little bit, he stands perfectly. So, I mean, he's still a light, tiny Legion figure, so it's like a strong wind is still going to blow him over just because of size and mass, but he is pretty solid if you just turn his legs out a little bit. It's really when he is straight together that he just doesn't have the heel support, so turning it in kind of gives it a little bit more support in the back there, and it works pretty well. And it doesn't sacrifice posability or anything, you can still do all kinds of poses, because he is one of the Legion guys that has knees. So he does not have any head articulation. I don't believe any of the Legion's figures have head articulation. He has ball joints here, which are surprisingly uninhibited by all the random junk. They really just don't get in the way of anything. They're pretty perfect, actually. And then he has the transformation kind of swiveled thing. Ball joint on a stick. He does not have any waist, but he's got ball joints on his hips that are pretty expressive, and knees that are super awesome for the transformation, and feet. And these are all of the currently released, as of the time of this video, Legion figures for the RID 2015 in their robot modes. My thoughts on Sideswipe are generally positive. I'm definitely not a fan of the fact that I broke that thing down there, and that's gonna bug me. But again, that's totally my fault. That's not the fault of the toy or anything like that. I do really enjoy the way he looks. He is one of the figures that has the mouth plate up, which a lot of the Legion class figures seem to have, even if the Warrior class don't. The spiky stuff on his arm is kind of cool, except I still just don't totally understand what the point is. I guess it makes more sense in his robot mode, because at least he can kind of use it as some kind of a weapon or something. It is a little weirder in car mode, but it is just kind of aesthetic, I guess. He doesn't have very much paint on him, which is kind of unfortunate. He's got the silver up there and kind of like a metallic-y bluish color there, but other than that, he's just all... I think this is all just... well, I guess this can't be both. So his feet are painted black. I'm guessing that means his arms are painted black, and this is painted black. So yeah, I guess he just has a lot of black paint on him, so it doesn't really stand out, so I take it back. He's probably no worse painted than any of the other Legion figures. He just has a very kind of boring color palette, I guess. He's just red and black. Red and black's cool, so I mean, it's not terrible, but yeah. Anyway, he's a good figure. He's definitely not my favorite in the line, but he's still pretty cool. I'm a really big fan of this whole line of Legion figures. I think they're really well done. I wasn't a huge Cyberverse fan of any of the movie Cyberverse guys. I liked them a little bit more during Prime, but not huge-like, just kind of mediocre-like. But these guys I really, really enjoy, so I'm definitely going to keep getting these. They're also really cheap, and the boxes they come in are like super-duper tiny, which is just kind of funny. So I am definitely getting, I believe it's Underbite and Fix-It are the next two, and I don't know what we're getting after that. But I will probably be getting them, whatever they are. And I'll see you guys next time. This is probably not good for your figure, by the way. I do not recommend that. Bye!